So obviously, Team USA Under 19 camp is going on right now, and there have been a lot of quotes that come out. And when you see this, it's funny because the great part about it is you have different basketball minds in the gym who all see the game a different way, all evaluate it a different way, and it's always great to see because it's not a groupthink situation. You get to see how other people see it, how other players play. There was one thing that was consensus amongst everybody who stepped foot in the gym to watch the Team USA under 19 team, and that was that AJ Dybantsa was by far and away the best player in the gym and will be the best player on this team. Who would have thought it? Who would have thought that AJ Dybantsa would be the best player in the gym? I mean, I let me color you all shocked, but what I want to read here is the actual quote, which says that AJ Dybantsa is on a planet of his own at number one right now. Now, I was able to see some highlights and some clips from the camp. It was special stuff. It was AJ being AJ, a little bit of scoring in every single way. But one of the big moments that everyone talked about that his team was down big in the final minutes of one of the afternoon scrimmages against a team, and he literally single-handedly like hit three separate buckets, get defensive stops, forced turnovers, picking up full court. He was screaming at his teammates. He was locking them defensively and was able to just like make this very large push. And you know. Ralph, you and I talked about this offline, honestly, but in this situation, really, what does AJ Dybantsa have left to prove? Like you don't want to see him come to this and coast, right? But he's
Mhm.
the number one player. He's got the bag. He's got the BYU. He's got the swag tool. He's got all that, right? He could come here and play it cool. In all honesty, one of the downsides to me for AJ is that I think sometimes in his late high school and in that little Utah prep era, I thought there was a little bit of like playing it too cool for school. That was not the case. He lined up amongst the best guards and the best players in the country, and he was by far and away the best player in the gym. And that's how it should be. And it was very, very good to see. And then afterwards, obviously, he had the conversation with Gavoni that we did a video with yesterday where he was like, "Yeah, I want to win a national championship." And he's like, "Well, do you care about being the number one pick?" And he's like, "If I win a national championship, I'll be the number one pick." Like that's kind of what his mindset is. So you stack that on top of him being on a planet of his own. Um, Ralph, you tell me if I should like temper my AJ Dybantsa BYU stuff right
No,
now, or should I just go ahead and
absolutely
raise it a
not.
little? Should I raise it a little
You,
bit?
you you should raise it a little bit. Like sometimes you have to remind people who you are,
Hmm.
right? And to me, that's what this is for AJ Dybantsa because this was something we talked about 2 weeks ago, maybe with him when the BYU practice highlights came out, and the same kind of thing was happening where AJ Dybantsa was like killing everybody at BYU. And we talked about how guys who are anointed so early in high school often tend to face some undue criticism later in their high school careers because they've kind of been crowned too early, and we have to nitpick a little bit just as commentators. I have to find a way to nitpick and be a little bit negative before they get to college. It happened with Zion Williamson and why then he turned into a superstar when he was a superstar in high school. It happened with Cooper Flag, and then he turned into who Cooper Flag turned into in college. It happened with Ben Simmons. Like it happens all the time with guys who are really good high school players for a really long time. I legitimately think there's a good part of AJ Dybantsa that got bored. When you are anointed, I think he was a sophomore between a sophomore and junior year as the best player in high school, regardless of class, ahead of Cooper Flag.
Hmm.
And then you go see Cooper Flag doing what he did at Duke, and you're playing against guys Utah Prep was playing against. You're not always going to have the competitive nature and the drive to dominate kids who look like me every day. I'll just be honest with you, and who I looked like in high school, right? Just the scrawny guys who got the elbows pointing out because
Yeah.
they're not, like they just hit growth spurts and things. You're not going to have the most motivation to go out and do that. He's always taking a step up now. So to reassert yourself against the best players in the country in this age range, and then to go to BYU and obviously have the step up of going from high school to college, the competitiveness is really showing itself here, which I think is big because that was one of the major questions with him this last year is if he felt like he had made it, if he felt like, he had the extra drive to go be great and not just rest on his laurels a little bit. And the fact he is not just being competitive, but being a little like Kobe-ish and
Mhm.
just putting everything in overdrive and wanting to squash everything in front of him. I could not be more excited now about what he's going to do this season at BYU.
This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good to see. And obviously, he's the best player in the class by most services. And him being at that top spot so long, I even fell victim to it a little bit. I was like, you know what, is Darren Peterson better? Right? And Darren Peterson is incredible, don't get me wrong. But I do
I
think
I I think that's a good part of this too. Is Darren Peterson is going to Kansas, the traditional blue blood, and it's not taken away from Peterson the player because he's fantastic too. But AJ's heard that.
mhm.
Get the sense AJ's heard that.
Oh yeah, and they're gonna see each other this year. They are going to see
Yep.
each other this year, and it's gonna be must see TV. But there has been a little bit of like a level of fatigue to AJ being at the top so
Yes.
long, and people I think want to try to be on the other side of the coin and be like, well, is AJ the best player? I want to be on the other side of AJ Dybantsa when you should just be on the right side. That this kid is just incredible, and he's gonna be incredible for BYU. And BYU getting him is one of the biggest gets in BYU basketball history, maybe the biggest. No, it is the biggest get. I'm sorry. Let's not act like it isn't. And uh, for him to be playing at this high of a level when there's a world where he coasts through this camp and he's still on the team, right? Like I think
Oh
he
yeah.
coasts and he's still on the team, but he's
Yeah.
like, no, I want to make a statement here that with Tyron Stokes in the gym with Caleb Holt, Malachi Moreno. I mean, you go down the list of all the guard, Darren Rippey's there. Who else is it? Jordan Smith, Brandon McCoy, all these guys that
Michael Brown. Yeah.
Mikael Brown. I'm the best dude in the gym. That's let's not make any ifs, ands, or buts about it. And also, not only am I the best guy in the gym, like I want everyone to know it, and I'm gonna show y'all why I'm the best guy in the gym. And that level of just like mental side of it is something that I think you love to see because the one thing that people do say about AJ Dybantsa is like the mental side of it. Like, is he like? Is it just like NIL, BYU? This is fun. I love all the attention. Am I really going here to win? All those kind of questions about that. He's putting that to bed while also basically filling up the stat sheet. It's going to be obviously he's going to make this team. He's going to be the best player on this team. It's going to be very interesting to see like what he looks like, number one option leading his team and how it goes. Kind of leading up to this because with last year's USA team, he was on the team and he was really good. But the story of it was like Cam Boozer. Like the Boozer twins win everything. Cam Boozer was kind of the guy on the team.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like moving forward. But yeah, if you ask anybody, AJ Dybantsa was the best player in the gym on another planet. Any other term you want to use. BYU fans, if you're trying to do the temper your excitement thing, just don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's going to be special this year in Provo. Truly is.